Hello everyone, it's me Provat again, and I'm streaming the 11th episode of Half-Life 2 map merger and renderer. I have a bit different setup today. I'm restreaming using Restream.io and using its chat, web chat, like for combining chats from different services, and a couple of other OBS stuff that's different. So there may be issues. Please let me know if you see any. And yeah, again, this is the music playing is Demo Vibes. It's Demo Vibes 5 today. We probably we'll run out of music soon. Everything seems fine now, and yeah, so let me show the current state. That is today, and then I will talk about my plans for today. Okay, so interesting. For some reason, FPS seems to be limited by 30. I'm not sure why is that, because locally locally it's like 120. Interesting. Okay, this is not a severe issue. Anyway, the current state. So the last time we optimized renderer by by skipping material render on late far away levels, and basically currently it renders light maps plus some random material. Павел Садаков, привет. DXT5 текстуры поправил с точностью до прозрачности. Вот этих прозрачных пока нету. Кстати, может быть, сегодня можно потрогать прозрачность. So today, what I'm going to do is try to calculate the average material color for materials, and stores this data somewhere, so later maps don't look like some random crap, but more like average color. So yeah, this. And another thing that I wanted to do today is render skyboxes. So to avoid this color that I have, you probably have some associations with it, so I'm not going to name them. Yeah, so let's go then. Material. Probably what we should do is start with textures. So texture H, or texture, and AVEC3 average color. Struct, and also AVEC3F. And so yeah, another like the stuff that I forgot, the total thing. So this is part of optimizing renderer. There were several attempts, several variants of render optimization, and I'm not going to do any calling, at least for now, because it doesn't make any sense, because the purpose for this utility is to show the entire mesh. So nothing should be actually called. So this doesn't make, all of this don't make any sense. This is done actually. This is I'm not sure this is needed currently, but as an option, let's have it. Currently, each map has its own VBO and IBO. Skip like texture on distance. Do bait color instead. This is what we are doing right now. So this part is done, and this part isn't done. Regular material textures into atlases to avoid split windows. So yeah, this is also like last resort for something. I'm not sure that this is needed. So yeah, this is a close some drawings from the last part. Okay, so average color. So texture C. TX create params. DST texture. Okay, so somewhere here we do want to calculate the average color, which is like compute average texture color. So like we pixels HDR with not plus, why plus? This multiplication of them, and then just go through all pixels. Plot map. Let me check something. Well, texture. Yeah, this thing, maybe it already has average color or something. And I don't need to do anything. UTF file format, layout, header, low resolution image data. Format in the header, always stored in DXT1 compressed. That allows us to map with a width of 16 pixels. For 16 by 16. Okay. Yeah, well, at least I do need to... This is not one by one. Okay, layout. Source data, each map smallest to largest. Smallest. Which is smallest? Low res format. And high. Upload. What again? Smallest to largest. smallest to largest. So texture load reads the file, then skips this. Where the mipmap skipping loop? Count. Okay, so yeah, let's do this separately. Let's do this as a part of this data. Of this low-res format. Have just else printf. Doesn't have low-res data. And this is this now goes here. And what I do here is so this low-res format print just print high-res format. High-res low-res implemented low-res texture format, and this one is not HDR but HDR low-res width and HDR low-res height. Text average color is AVEC 3FF0. And now what and yeah, another thing to do here is to allocate stack for compute average color average color from low res image. Stack get cursor. That is, I don't like that I need to unpack and unpack DXT pixels here. 16-bit pixels. Header image size skip, and then BTF image size. Texture stack log. Okay, so so basically this part here needs to do the very same thing that regular loader does, but instead on the smaller image, and instead of uploading it to OpenGL texture, it should just compute average color. So the only different part is this and this. Why? The idea here is like this. This could like just upload. The decision to have the mipmap loop here was because I wanted to upload mipmaps from the BTF file, but instead I chose to just generate mipmaps on the fly. Okay. How should I just... Okay, this is... I don't need anymore. How should I unroll this? Let me think. So this thing allocates and then impacts. Okay, I can probably just have this part as these lines from here until here as uncommon, make this a function, and although txth output, this is highly specific to this txtc. Some okay, I don't see any way to optimize it, so probably we're just fine with this thing, so I can probably do it like this: static int texture unpack. And it should have quite a few arguments. Back and header. You don't need BTF header, and you don't need mip level, and you don't need texture. You need file cursor and format, width and height. src, VTF. And to temp and like this with height and format. Format. And now I can do like this. This is just format. Just width and just height. And what it returns src DST texture. What it also can do is to change order, so it could just stack free object position with TMP stack and src texture. So yeah, it doesn't waste any space. Pointer to general conversion. Well, obviously this is a pointer. DST texture is back to temp, TMP, file, cursor, HDR, width, GR, height, and GR. High res format 000. If not DST texture, then just what the hell happened? Then just print pilot to unpack texture and return 0. And then I can reuse this function here. Yeah, here. 16T. Okay. Pixels and pixel count. And this is texture. Unpack to temp. TMP, file, cursor. This I need here. HDR low res with HDR low res. Height and HDR low res format. not pixels, then this is probably a failure of some kind. So print cannot unpack low res image and return 0. What do we return here? Well, 0. Okay. Otherwise, count. Гекарка, привет. Otherwise, what we do is we unpack colors and just text average color plus equals pixels I average color X, which is red. Red is 11 bits to the right. 565, so top 5 bits is red. Mm, 11 bits, it's like, okay, this one is this, and then 3 bytes here, which is 1 to 7F, right? Well, what I'm doing, I can just I was computing mask. Y is Y is 5 bits, but it is also like a mask for the lowest 5 bits, which is 1F, right? And Z is like pixels. Not 5, this should be 6 bits, right? Green is the most, green has 6 bits. So like 4 and 2, right? And then text average color. Какой task обрывает? Task вот это. Вот в этой части. Средний цвет материала. Средний цвет материала. Надо сначала средний цвет текстуры, потом его протащить до материала, потом у материала его взять и положить к вершинам, а потом сэмплировать вершин. Ну, как-то так, если по-простому, чтобы в один row-call это все ужималось. И у материал... Okay, I'm going to switch to English from now. The task here is to compute the average texture color. Then this average texture color can be used in material to calculate material's average color, because it generally it can be dependent. Like material can have several textures, and I need to modulate them. I don't do that, and I'm not going to do that today. But if I get to implement non-trivial materials, I will need to do that. Да, я в прошлый раз что-то упоминал это. Не успел сделать просто в прошлый раз. Okay, average color then needs to be a vector 3 multiplied by float. So this is text average color, and the float is this pixel count. So yeah, this should be it. This should be it. I just had an awesome idea. I don't actually need separate attribute for that. Well, I do need attribute for that, but this attribute can be not like vertex pure vertex attribute. I can just specify it on load, like before. Okay, let me check that. Docs.gl. Attrib GL vertex attrib pointer GL vertex attrib. Okay, yes too. Yeah, I can just specify this value by doing this. I am not having like a huge array of 3 floats or something. This is cool. I will use this. But I need to find a way to specify. And here it becomes interesting. Okay, this should be done. I can try to like max maps 1. Did it complain? Not implemented low-res texture format DXT1. What? What? Okay, I do need to cursor anyway. На всю модель один цвет, да. На всю модель один цвет это для далеких карт. Потому что там нет смысла, там все равно в одном пикселе поместится вся текстура много раз. DXT1. Do I not have like... What the hell? Not implemented low-res texture format. If it... And it doesn't equal to this and this, then share low-res format. What? What? Low-res format. Okay, there are a lot of these. DXT1. Doesn't anyone see an error here? Low-res format, low-res format. This is DXT1, right? This is else. This is low. Maybe you want it to be like this for some reason, I'm not sure. DXT1. You don't like DXT1, but you are completely fine with. The music right now, that's playing right now, it's Sonnet 64K intro, I believe, right? Sonnet? Is it Sonnet? Yeah, it's really cool. Well, it's 2001. Highly recommended. And yeah, it ranked first. First one from the... okay. Rebel Coder, привет. I'm using Gento, and this is Vim. Just Vim and some random plugins. Most important one is You Complete Me. This one is for code completion and error highlighting. Oh, look at this. Okay. Not implemented low-res texture format. Yeah. I do have an inverse. I do have kind of inverse logic here. Yeah, it should be like this, obviously, and then it should work. Yeah, no complaints there. Textures look fine, so I didn't spoil any offsets here, and this green stuff I need to fix. Okay. So average color is there. So what I was going to tell you, like a digression there. Let's open SRC render C. As you can see here we have only a single shader program that is used to draw everything here. And thing is, like currently I'm about to have a different logic for painting. So the simplified render for the simplified shading for the far away maps only reads light map and some attribute color, and it would make sense to have it as a separate program. And another interesting thing is that it actually depends on material, so I can just create a material, a special material here. Here we have a special material like open source placeholder. Which is created here as a default material, which has a default placeholder texture. So this actually not just me to specify program in material. So there will be a special material for far away levels, and it will have another special attribute like base color. I believe I don't have anything here, base texture, so I really should have like const. Why is it const? Struct avec 3f albedo or something. You obviously need to message for this to work. need a program. Unfortunately, I don't have any projects with Dmitry Bachilo coming up. We have like a lot of stuff that we both want to do, but our schedules don't allow us to. Okay, I'm thinking about how should I pin program. So should render have something like I will probably need if I'm going to do more complicated materials, like less trivial one that I have now. I will need for rendering to have separate programs for these, and the thing is that to figure out which program I need at this point, I need to specify. I need to ask render, so I'm having material like this now, like there were some specific stuff here, like yeah, this or something like this. So this are specification, but there are more than that, stuff like this. And if I get token with this name, I just need to ask render, so you should use this program for this material. And the simplest way to achieve that is probably just to have this in material program. So I could do like couple material and render more, but I'm not actually that material program, so I can just material program light map. Simple material program map texture and like map color. And now I can just have this material program as program. This should be like the first one, like this is the simplest one. And where do I initialize material? So these materials are always output. So if output was fine, that output program is material program light texture. And you know what? This is actually else here. I can't do that. I can't do the thing that I was telling you here. I still have to pass it as a... how do you say it? Either as a vertex attribute, per vertex attribute, and waste a lot of space. So I have like, let's see, the entire Half-Life 2 mesh takes 1.5 million triangles, and there are 3 vertices per triangle, so there are like 4.5 million vertices. Multiply that by each float takes 4 bytes. I can pass like for 3 bytes per per vertex. But it will be still 15 megs around that, something around that. Like 13 something, and it was, if the color was like full-fledged floats, it would be 3 times more, like 50 megabytes of floats or something. 50? Well, more like 40, but still a huge amount of floats for no good reason. Another thing that I could do is I could just make has music ended? Yeah, the music has ended. Another idea that I have is I could reuse wasted space in light map texture, or create a separate texture for those materials, for the average colors. I like have a few hundred, like not a few hundred, like a couple of thousand of materials per per map, and then a few so I need to store this few thousand pixels per level somewhere. Okay, you know what? I think the per vertex pixels is a waste of space, but it's the most trivial thing to do. I will need to profile my memory usage anyway after I get this working. Light map color, and color here output. Albedo is AVEC3FF1, and this is common for everyone. Now this is here, and this here. This here is output base texture 0 average color. And then I can pick rendering setup here. And this is per draw, right? I also need to have this Render draw set, render draw set, render draw, apply trips. A location. Is there like normal? I don't use normals. Why do I keep a normal? What do I use normals for? Nothing. No, normals are not used. Normals are not used. I can remove them. So okay, struct air program. Do I have a program already? GL inter program. I need more complicated notion of program, which has sources. Average color here. Well, I don't want to do it right now. I want to do average color a bit later. Too many things to change. I just don't want to. Name. Const struct shader sources, and this is const char common let me just write it that way, vertex and fragment, and then I have retriever uniform. Retrieve. Trips and uniform. Get uniforms. Okay, there's what? So I do need a separate program, separate sources for the two programs, but they do share this stuff like math, whatever. They do use these, and another thing there. I can just have set of these and set of these, but location can be specific per program. So I don't actually need to do that. That would be like a bad binding. But I need to specify what do these mean. And I do have like generic BSP model vertex. Not struct, but enum. Or attribute names. Attribute names and uniform names. Not names, attribute type. Not type. What's the term for it? It's not type. It's not name. Attribute. I'm not sure there's a board for this thing that I conceptually want to make. It's not index either. It's not location. What I want to do is enum, which can be used for naming these. So I can just go through. Well, these I actually don't. I don't think that I need to name these. This is just well, I do need their count. I do need to have their count. I want to do some micro magic here, but I'm not sure that I should do it right now because I now have only 2 programs. Currently I have this global stuff here, which gets this location gets rewritten by at the initialization step only for single program, but now I want to have several programs, so each program should have its own location for all of these, and all the locations and like uniforms and trips are optional. And this list can potentially be dynamic. Not in runtime, but when I add new programs. So I should have a way to specify attributes and uniforms in a somewhat convenient way, so I don't go like patch stuff everywhere. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Just define render list attributes and declare attribute, and it declares attribute with like vertex. You need to have 3. You need to be GL float. And prettify loading skyboxes. I do plan to load skyboxes today, if I have time, obviously. Normal. I don't actually want to do normal, so let normal be here and commented out. What I need to do is wait, map UV 2 floats and what the hell? Text UV 2 float, right. This declares a list of attributes. Then I have then I can do it like this. Retrieve. You don't need location. You don't need location because location is no. I don't need there or the per program. And now I can have define render declare attribute name count and type, which becomes like a n count type and like these and this is n, right, and then I can just render list attributes and undef render declare attributes, and I just can remove this. Well, everything beside this one. This is a terminator. Do I need a terminator? No, I don't, because I can do it like this. Enum render attribute kinds. Yeah, I will use the word kind here. I can also like attribute kinds, and the attribute kinds will be the very same thing here, except it will attribute kind n comma, and then attribute kind max count. So yeah, and this one should be like this, right? Yeah, I mixed them, mixed that. Multi-line, okay. So yeah, that's how I define all the attributes. Then the same thing goes for uniforms. the same thing goes for uniforms. So I define render list uniforms. Which is like render declare uniform, and it's just a name. At this point I don't need anything besides the name, and for names I can just use this. Can you please like 6dd? Okay. 7dd, and then I can just do it like this. Render declare uniform, right? And okay, 7s. Am I doing it right? This and everything after this becomes this. Not like that. Okay. I don't know how to Vim. What? MVP element light map, and this becomes the very same thing here. Define render declare uniform, undef render declare uniform, and render list uniforms. And this one is name UN, comma, and here I can also like enum uniforms kinds. This is like uniform kind, and size. Why do you have to size? Probably there was like text 0 size and text 1 size. Yeah. Now this could be solved. Okay, so now I can just add stuff here and it will get automatically something. And after that, I can just do it like this. Int uniform locations. uniform kind count int attrib locations uniform kind or attrib kind count. And these go directly here. Type def. Okay, this I don't need this anymore. Statical program, random program create. This will be different. This will have to separate signature. Actually, what my Vim config does is uses this you complete me, which does feed the entire file plus a couple of settings into Clang frontend and builds a database out of that. So there is like this error highlighting, auto completion, and stuff like that. So basically, this everything that I write is being compiled on the fly by a separate process. You can read about this, like you complete me. It's, there's a lot to read, but basically, I don't want to go there. Basically, it's two pieces, software made of two pieces, like Vim plugin and a separate process that does heavy stuff. And now I can declare my programs. VXP сервер, привет. And now I need another enum. For material. You know what? Actually, I do need something different here. No problem. You complete me is really cool. In program map color program map texture. I will need to do something different, probably some debug program. Although I'm not sure, I'm really fixed by BSP model vertex. This is name is -1. Common is like vec2 light map UV. Another end where 3 color. Next thing is vertex source. Yeah, and this stuff, this is like separate structure. Attribute a vertex. Attribute vec3 a vertex. A color. Attribute vec2 a light map UV. Uniform, and this I can probably just copy from here in its entirety. Don't need to. Text UV, not text UV, but like text UV color. Normal, there's no normal, nothing is normal anymore. And this is end of main and end of. Okay, this was common. This is vertex. This is end of the. This is not the end of the. It's only this part, and fragment shader is. Fragment shader is. Map size, okay. I do need light map size, right? For some reason. No, I don't need one. This I don't need, right? This I don't need to, and like DC, I don't need this, albedo No. Nah. This is ambient. Okay. Text 0, text 1. Interesting. What the hell is going on here? I believe that the right thing to do here is just jailbreak color vec4 b color multiplied by xyz here, and one is alpha. Yeah, this becomes this simple. And then there are triplications and yeah, this is extra. So this was light map color, and light map texture, I will just reuse whatever was there already in place, which is like this. This, except for this here I need comma instead of this thing, and this at position 10 10. Yeah. And this I don't need anymore. Render located trips. So now the initialization should look a little bit different. Render program create. It's a bit more complicated than that. There's this static render program init function, which is program pointer, and that's it. And what it should do is program create. It should do it like this. Sources is common, and prog shader sources fragment. Shader And yeah, this is obviously int. If it returns -1, then we have minus something, we have an error. If it returns 0, then we are fine. This is really schizophrenic because there are parts of program which like 0 is an error and everything 1 is success, but here is like negative is an error and 0 is success. What did I say just now? I think I really need a short break. Why the hell? Why the hell? Okay. Program init. And another thing that program should do is should just initialize all location for its uniforms. So I do have these. Not LMGAN uniforms, but and this is static const. Static const trips. Attributes kinds count prog trip locations I equal name. This is warning level. And this is basically the same, but now like attribute is uniform and small one to uniform mute. Unform. No, I didn't mean unform. Okay, this is program initialization. So here what I should do is again from 0 to count, I'll locate all the initialize all the programs. Render program init programs I if and doesn't equal 0, then can create program this I don't need. Default texture for some reason. And material for and this is not placeholder. You don't need base texture. You need light map, color, material, albedo set to AVEC 3F1, AVEC 3FF, and also light map, color, material, program set to prog, material, program light map, color. The same thing is true for this thing. So, do I need placeholder texture? I don't think so. And you can be like one. Whatever, you can be whatever you want. Albedo, do you need albedo? I won't use albedo anywhere, actually. And what I can do here is... This is not 4. Привет, тайный я. Render apply trips. So this is where it gets a little bit complicated. Whenever we switch programs, we need to... It will be safe to reset all the trips and uniform values. Render draw will... So here's the BSP draw. And BSP draw can have several materials. and each material can have separate texture, separate program. Well, and texture too, but this is not the point. So render row should do set up material, set its program if it's not the current program. This should be checked because GL use program can be expensive, as I recall. Well, and it also need to do this. Current texture, current program. LMGAN program. It's not LMGAN program, it's current program. And it's an index. And it does need to set like a lot of external crap, like you know what? Why the hell did I do all of this? I could just I'm stupid. I could just could just have added an attribute flat here, like float something, which I could set here when I draw. Like somewhere here, if the material has the flag that you just don't use, you should use per vertex color. Model draw, texture. Yeah, so the problem is that whenever I call GL use program, I need to set up all of this crap. Well, not this. This I don't need. This can be set up like legitimately when the model draw is called. So this rule should be good together because uniforms are per program. And I do set up draws in such a way that this rarely happens like at all, but because I don't have any guarantees of that, I still need to enforce that. I work as a programmer, but not graphics programmer. I don't have any professional relation to graphics. Спасибо. Я думаю, я в течение часа закончу с вот этой штукой. This one. So, to group this like this. distance, and distance picks which draw set I do. And to clean up this, probably I should have reorganized model draws as not just a list of draws, but a list of materials and per material draws, so that code here could have clear understanding of what's going on. Just set material and then draw it draws its draw calls, because I can set up data on BSP part on BSP side for that. Do I? Can I do this? I don't remember this giant file when it does. Oh, BSP draw. So it has its faces sorted here. I could probably just sort materials, count unique materials. Can I count unique materials? Faces are sorted by material texture, not material. Material texture. It can be a bit complicated. And it doesn't give a strict guarantee that there are possible case of different materials with different programs, but the same texture. This is just specific. Currently, I don't do anything fancy like that, so this works fine. But if I add other programs, it will break this assumption. Implicit assumption, I must say. But I could like sort by material properly whenever I want. Still, like sort by texture first and then by material, to ensure that materials are the same. And then yeah, do allocate a list of materials, and draw then can be freed from material knowledge. I don't want to do it right now. I don't. I need to pass these. These are common. These I can just do whenever. These are uniforms. Uniform kind. Light map. And then like text 1, like 1. Two, stuff like this. So this was the reason. So I don't have these weird indexes here. I can just use enum. And this is obviously not location, like this is per program. And program will have separate locations. So my global render should also have like this stuff. Uniforms. Const float MVP model view projection and float lmn, whatever that means, and then render and static void render program use. So this becomes this gl call gl use program prog name and yprom. This also needs to be set up. Okay, I will think about the next thing. Next thing. Throw set. So yeah, this goes away completely. This goes away to this function. And this becomes locations. Forms becomes prop uniform locations. LM again becomes nothing, and location becomes nothing. And yeah, this is dex 0, this is dex 1. This is not 0, this is a uniform kind. MVP. Not MVP like that, it's RMVP. Uniforms kind LMN. Uniforms MVP. Uniforms element. So this is a render program use. And yeah, now what it also does is like if our current program equals to prog name, then basically don't do anything and return. And here our current program is prog name. Right. Not quite. This. Const program. Current program. This is because render apply trips does stuff like this. If I is less than a trip kind count, do you need array of trips? Yeah, you do need a trip, and you need const log, which is err current program. Trip locations I. Location log. Yeah. This is uniform locations, error uniform kind text 0, I believe. Text 0 size. Yeah. There's a possible bug here, but it can be easily fixed by having this error current text 0 is null, which means like current text 0 binding is like forget current texture binding semantically from the program standpoint of view, not OpenGL bin actual state. Render draw elements, render draw set. So now this thing needs to do what? This thing needs to like if m not like that, like m program case material context material program late map color render use program use programs program late map color. And not even like that, like this, and then break. Color, texture, and default is render draw set. And this is a mistake. Should refactor it like this, because I need to set text program prior to setting to applying the trips. So this is this stuff. Vendor prepare program. Draw. And you, my friend, you do like this. Uniforms MVP is set to MVP. X and our uniforms element is set to element. Okay, it will probably explode. It won't even compile our program. You don't exist. Can't locate. Feature completion error. V normal undeclared. A normal undeclared. V normal. V normal doesn't exist. Okay, okay, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because it doesn't update uniforms, and it doesn't update uniforms because we only use a single program here for the entire thing, and when we update metrics, it doesn't detect the program update and doesn't update uniforms. This should happen here. Current program. Make it forget the current program. Okay, this works somewhat. I'm supposed to see the roof. I'm not sure. Okay, it's like that. Okay, so it works on this level. Just let me make more levels. Will it work on more? Well, what the hell? What the hell? And I'm not even sure what did break. This is water. Only the water did break. Okay. And water is something generic. Okay, I can handle not only water work. This red thing here. Джеффри, привет. Я сейчас пытаюсь сделать средний цвет для дальних уровней. Средний цвет для дальних уровней, чтобы они вот не пропадали вот так вот по-странному. Okay. This doesn't look right. What the hell? Why did I break my render? What the actual hell? What it looks like. I'm not even sure what it looks like. It's a light map. Distorted light map. Okay, I broke the entire thing. Buffer, active texture 0, light map, active texture 1, light map. Вода просто вот. До этого надо добраться, да. Это можно сделать. Это материал, да, у нее такой? So, okay, what was the last loaded map? The last G1 commons 10 max 1 map. Okay, it looks fine here. Looks fine in here. Название шейдера. Ну, понял. Да-да-да. Спасибо. Да. Я сейчас полностью игнорирую название шейдеров. This looks fine here. Well, water doesn't look fine. Otherwise, I just wanted to improve rendering. Why did I break everything? And now it's not broken here. Like, water is broken, but other things are not. One other thing is that when initializing, I actually want to set everything to null. Okay, this is 0. Okay, this is already broken. This is already broken. And it's unstable. Like, it did work on the previous run, but now it broke. And everything else seems fine. Well, kind of. And only that map there is broken. Why is it broken? What leads to it be looks like corrupted light map. Texture coordinates. I'm not even sure what can go wrong there. And music has ended. Okay, let me take a quick break, 5 to 10 minutes, and then I will return to fix it. Let's turn on the music and try to look at it for a bit more. I'm not sure that I will be able to fix it today because I have no idea what's going on, and it would seem like it's not per level, it's like per material. There are some materials which get corrupted like that. Which is really weird. I do have some idea. Render applied trips. Render applied trips should happen if. So it should happen for all the trips. Components type stride APTR and location. Name enable and or yeah. So if location is less than 0, then all disable array. And you can do that because, well, you don't know the location. Okay, so I should keep a list of all objects to erase, and this is the place a render program use. If our current program, if it's alive, then just for retrieve kind count if our okay const log our current program retrieve locations I if log 0, then gl all disable vertex attribute array location, something like that. I'm not sure. Let's try. Nope. Nope. Just break it even more. For no good reason. Equals to 0 or will be offset. Okay, this also should happen like if render prepare program returned. I see. what? Stacks. Okay, not void, but return 0. Otherwise, return 1. That way I know that I program change it 0. Program change it. And this should happen. Should also return like int. Changed. Yeah, let's try it. Nope, it didn't fix anything. It did fix the... no, it did fix seemingly right. Okay, let's try it again. Let's try to do all of the maps. There are like only 68 maps, but I keep typing like 128 for some reason. Oh yeah, it seems to work. Now update the average color src, bsp h, bsp model, bsp vertex, text cv normal. I don't need normal for now, but I do need like unsigned char 8t gbx. Not even like that. Okay, let me do it like this. And then I will pack them. They should be load face, vertices pose. So here what I should also do is I face. So I is free here. 0 I face vertices. Vertices buffer. Pos plus I RGBX equal to and magic material. Do we have a material? Course draw material, face material. Face material. albedo, albedo. Okay, albedo. Okay, this should be 32T. Expose. This has little engine, so if I want red to be first, it need to be the last one, right? And this one, so this one or this one, 8 bits there. And this one 16 bits to the left, something like this, and then I can go to back to render and have a variant color attribute and have it not like a color attribute. It is an a color attribute, but then I can declare an attribute here like color chill constant white. Let me do it like color 3, and I will actually need to name it like that everywhere. And then I need to have this special material course, which is did I have a name for that? I forgot. Okay, course. This got completely broken.
When
material get collection and TMP. Okay. Normal. Debug display map. Okay, whatever. Nice sounds. Okay, and it doesn't work. And it changes colors depending on whatever. Okay, I don't need like too many maps. I can just work with, okay, 2 for example. I can just go here and look at it being broken. And why is that? Light map color. Average color. But you do get like automatically. You do get, but this is not. You have to have average color here and average color. Okay, this is broken, but completely another way. Oh. Kind of like check like this and render. You will complain, right? You will complain. This is green, right? This is green. And this should be red. Yeah, this is... What? 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 Okay, probably. I do have an idea of what's going on. Let me fix that really quick. No, you remain like this. Where do I have this unsigned byte and GL false GL false GL false and GL true. True. False. And CT N. We have GL bool. GL int. Normalize. CTN. That's right. And yeah, it was normalization. Now I can try again. No. These colors are completely wrong. Sanity check. Sanity check is... I do have like albedo set from average texture color here. So what if I do... What if I do texture inform MVP fragment shader and then just output the albedo. Well, albedo and then do something like where do I set the material? Okay, here. 3F. Kind albedo. M average M albedo X M albedo Y M albedo Z. And what do you not like about that? Wrong. Our current program. And yeah, this. It still displays texture for some. Okay, it does still display texture because I need to return from shader right away. Shader, а потом снова без использования переменной между ними. Ее можно использовать сколько угодно раз. Ну да, вот return я не сделал, но все равно белый. Почему белый-то? Видео. What? Okay. These need to be divided by as in floating point, like 1F. 3F. Not optimal, but let's just check. Okay, this looks kind of better. It does remind of the average color. So I need to disable this one. And yeah, kind of slightly wrong, but generally looks close enough. We can test it like with something like this. and it remains recognizable. Right? Right. So this is what I planned to do like in the first 40 minutes. For some reason. I forgot that I would have to rewrite render basically to support this. And so no skyboxes for today, obviously. And I will have to fix a lot of stuff because I made a lot of debug quality code there. But let's try how it looks. When all maps are loaded. Maybe I have to do some kind of gamma correction there, I'm not sure. Actually, I do know what's going on there. I do know what's going on there. Let me fix that too. Well, I do have a hypothesis, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Light map texture, recolor plus. Yeah, it's kind of better. Yeah, this is cool. This works almost exactly as I wanted it to work. All of this remains recognizable in distance. It still takes a lot of bytes for no good reason. What on a scale of how many bytes does it take? Around 50 or 40 meg. While it can just be a couple of thousand bytes. This is interesting. Look at the city. Okay. Okay, and I will need to clean up materials. Anyway, I was streaming for almost 3 hours and it's 2 AM here. I'm completely devastated. Like, I don't know. I can't think straight, so anyway, I will be committing this probably tomorrow. I will clean up this tomorrow and then continue. And the next stream will be Thursday. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you, like, thank you in general. I'm thankful that you exist. And see you next Thursday. Bye.